today? Pretty crazy, right? Today is it like a slaughter. I think they've been saying that it's similar to, remember March 2020, right when the pandemic hit hardcore? Yeah, so, it's interesting because you could look at it two ways, right? So you could look at your portfolio and just, oh my God, I don't even want to go there, which I'm trying to avoid that. But I could also be like, wait, I have some money on hand. I'm going to stock up, right? So it's really important to see what's going on today. I mean, today has been, we're talking red, 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 right? So instead of being one of those panic sellers, and that's what happens, right? There's a reason why there's called panic selling and panic buying. So panic selling, what's happening, it's right now. A lot of amateurs and people are freaking out and totally selling, right? So this is why, Warren Buffett always says, get the best prices, at wholesale, get the best companies at wholesale prices. Pretty much are like that at the moment, right? And you would learn this by having a watch list, which I'm going to explain in just a little bit. But people don't also realize that there is such a thing called panic buying. Have you guys ever heard of panic buying before? I don't know if I'm the only one that uses that term, but I'm sure I'm curious if you guys even understand what I mean by panic buying. Can you guys tell me what that means? You can put it all in the chat room. Don't be shy. You guys are here. So let's chat. Let's talk. The more you guys interact. FOMO, yeah. FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. It's funny. I'm going to actually talk about FOMO in trading terms in a little bit. But yes. Anybody else want to tell me what you guys think what panic buying is? I'm going to give it a couple of seconds because it might be delayed, right? Because you guys need to be a little bit more interactive in talking, because day trading or investing is not a spectator sport, right? So the more interactive you are, the more you guys will learn. Yeah, chasing the market. When it's all-time highs and you've been watching something for quite some time, we get into this panic buying, right? Oh my gosh, I'm going to miss. So you want to get in, right? And a lot of times we get in if you're into investing, right? You're going to be getting in at all-time highs, and then you're going to have to sit through the lows to get back to the highs again, right? Or panic buying, I call that more chasing the market. Like David said, when you're day trading, right? Chasing trades, because that would be more of that in and out kind of a thing. So yes, absolutely. And we have probably all been victim to all of it. However, today is a beautiful, perfect example of don't panic, sell. And if by any chance you do have some cash on hand, this is a great time to start really, really, really zoning in on your watch list and buying stuff, right? Okay, so I want to go over a teeny bit really fast about, oops, where am I here? Can you guys see this? Are you able to see my watch list here? Let me know. Are you able to see my watch list?
I can see it.
Okay, awesome. So what is a watch list? I personally have a watch list strictly for my investments. This is not at all for day trading, right? First of all, I personally trade the E-minis. If you are day trading, I don't even think it's called a watch list. I think they call it an alert list, right? Like stocks that you're going to be watching for that particular day. But for a watch list, for me personally, is stocks that I am interested in, either in buying, or we all make, just bad decisions and sometimes buy some dogs, and to see when I could get rid of it, right? Today is definitely not the time to get rid of anything of mine. However, these are, for some reason, I don't know why, this is not my watch list. This is actually my entire list. I don't want to actually show you guys my whole account right now. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. Okay, so crypto is another, this is something I want to discuss actually today, because a lot of people are like, whenever they hear watch lists, they only think about stocks right away, right? But you could have watch lists in many different areas, right? Many of us suffer from FOMO, fear of missing on profits. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many FOMO scenarios when it comes to trading or the financial markets, right? And that is something that you have to develop a strategy for, right? So I'm going to focus my everything today about more focusing on understanding day trading versus investing. And if you are going to have a watch list, I would like for you to understand the best way to focus on that. Okay, so let's hop in and we will start with my presentation. So who am I? I am Marina, the Trader Chick. This is me. And today I want to cover pretty much a lot of issues, especially when we do get triggered with FOMO, when we do get triggered with panics, and it doesn't make a difference if it's investing. Like today is probably going to be a really big hit for a lot of investors who are, panicking to just, they have to sit through. Like this is going to recover, right? We've seen the market do this many times. When it's going to recover, I cannot tell you, and nobody should be telling you anything because no one really knows, right? But the reality is right now, this is what's happening, right? So understanding the difference with all what's happening and how to apply it to day trading versus investing, that's something that's really important, right? Understanding and busting a lot of day trading myths, because there are so many myths that hold us back, and I call them limiting beliefs, or just, yeah, I guess limiting beliefs is probably the best way to understand what to trade. So this is really important, especially if you're going to be doing watch lists, because I'll get into it really more specifically, because you cannot have too many things going on. If you're watching too many things, you're pretty much watching nothing, right? Especially if you want to focus and make day trading like a career, even swing trading. Understanding the lingo. A lot of times people don't even fully understand the lingo and are completely in the market with their money, and they don't even understand completely what's going on. So understanding the lingo will definitely save you a lot of money and save you a lot of bad decisions, right? Understanding how to use brokers, commissions, platforms, and all of that. That is what we're going to be covering today. So before we jump in, I want to do a quick official intro. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. I am actually in Antigua, Guatemala. I am an expat living in Antigua, Guatemala. And that's my sons right here. And before I became a day trader, I was a fitness instructor and a travel writer. And the main reason why I bring this up is because a lot of people think you need to have a financial background, you have to have an economic background. Completely, totally untrue, right? I literally was a fitness instructor before I went into day trading, and I was a travel writer, and I still am a travel writer. I still have a travel site that is something that, now that the world is opening up, we're starting to travel again, but we normally travel 2 to 3 to 4 months per year, right? And that's the beauty of day trading, is that I could do that, right? I'm also trilingual. I was born in the Soviet Union, so I am a Russian refugee, a Soviet Union refugee moving to the US. So I speak Russian, that is my mother tongue, but English is my main tongue. But I also have been living now in Central America, first in Costa Rica for about 7 years, and now we've been in Guatemala for almost 13 years. So Spanish is my third language. I'm definitely fluent in it. I wouldn't say that it's my main language. But the main reason why I bring this up is one thing I did recognize by learning a new language in my later years versus the way I learned English when I was 6, is that there's a whole process to learning a language, right? You have to really understand, you have to digest it, you have to translate it. It's a process. And when I recognize that how I learned Spanish can be applied to understanding what the markets are saying to me because it's in a language, that's when it kind of was like this aha moment. So I even feel like market language is my fourth language, right? And it's actually quite simple to understand once you know what you are listening to and what you are reading. But you do need to understand what it says. If you guys are staring at your charts and you really cannot understand what is going on, I really would not recommend putting your real money into the market until you do understand what it is saying to you, okay? And that normally starts with the basics, right? When I first learned how to speak Spanish, I learned me llamo Marina, right? Or ¿cómo es tu nombre? Really basic things. ¿Cómo estás? You don't get in and start philosophically discussing, something really huge, because it's not possible. It's the same thing with the markets, right? And what is the best thing about day trading? You could do it from anywhere. So I now have one chart. I have it on my laptop and two indicators. That is the beauty of day trading. You can really minimize and just work from anywhere in the world. And I've been featured on different shows. I used to do quite a lot of live. I was invited to quite a lot of live shows. I've done Money Show quite often, Traders Expo, and quite a few others. But obviously, once the pandemic hit, I prefer to do a lot more online, because I feel like we learn a little bit more online. We can access our computer. We could write things right there. When you're live, yeah, it's fun, but it's too many things that you forget right away. So I have a cheat sheet, I kind of call it, or a worksheet that I give you guys for free with this presentation. So I recommend going to makingofadaytrader.com, and you'll get it for free right now. Makingofadaytrader.com. Go ahead, get it. And this is literally like the cheat sheet that I use for my own trading and for my own charts when I sit down. So let's talk about the difference between day trading and investing, right? It's a pretty big deal, right? Why is it important to understand? Because you cannot be looking at a year chart if you're day trading, right? You cannot even be looking at a day chart if you are looking at really quick moves, which are between 1 minute to 5 minutes, right? Because it doesn't matter what the day is telling you. You need to be accurately looking at what you are accurately doing, right? It's not possible to do it any other way. So what is the main difference with day trading and investing? First and foremost, unlike investing, for day trading, you do not want to diversify. You do not want to diversify, because if you start to diversify, it becomes too many things going on. I always say you cannot hop into 4 different vehicles. One is a motorcycle, a minivan, a monster truck, and a sports car at the same time, because it's not possible to do that, right? Like, that's what day trading is. You cannot be doing too many things at once. It's very similar to like a music student. So if your child comes over to you and they're like, hey, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument. You're like, oh, awesome. Which one? And they're like, okay, I want to learn how to play the flute, the drums, the guitar, the piano. You're going to look at them. You're like, but they are all so different. You need to focus on one to really understand it and really learn it before you could go and do guitar and, a harpsichord. They're so different, even though they have strings, right? And that's even closer. So it's really important for us to understand day trading is the same thing. What we're doing in day trading is instruments. It's literally instruments. That's what they're called, right? So the other main difference of investors is they care about the companies they are investing in, right? For instance, I am a huge investor and holder in Apple. It is literally my biggest hold. And I don't know if you guys are again looking, everything is getting slaughtered. So just today, probably I've lost like 10% of my holdings, but I don't care. It's Apple. First of all, I'm getting amazing things going on with the dividends. Nonetheless, it's Apple, right? Like, this company has really proven that they know what they're doing and they are innovating and they are on top of it. So I've done my homework about Apple, right? So I'm okay with the fact that it's, kind of getting slaughtered today. I'm okay with it. I'm not even bothered by it. But for day trading, if I was going to watch it and it's going down, then I would actually approach it in that way, because day traders don't care if the market is going up or if the market is going down, because it's all about technical analysis. We can make money going either direction. And that's what's really important. We don't care about the company. We don't care that they're going to be coming out with an iPhone 14 in a year, because we're looking at today, right? And that is something super important to understand when you are day trading versus investing. Okay. So let's bust some myths about day trading overall. First and foremost, you probably hear it all the time. Oh, it's gambling, right? Day trading is so risky. It's gambling. Yeah, for sure. If you don't have any idea what you're doing and you're putting your live money into the market, you don't even know what a support area is, what a divergence is. You don't have any idea where to enter. You kind of just like, oh my gosh, this looks good. Boom, you pop in. or if you're panic buying, if you're panic selling, right? These are all amateur moves. So what is the difference between a pro and an amateur pretty much in anything in the world? Is practice. It's a strategy. It's understanding, right? So when you start to really understand what you're doing, your risk really, really goes down. And when you start to implement risk management, profit targeting, all these other things, you start to really limit the risk. And that's what makes it different, right? Because those 95% that are saying that it's gambling, they don't have any of this in place, right? None of it. So that's what differentiates the 5% from the 95%. The other big myth is that you need $25,000 to get started. That is such a lie. It is not true. You need $25,000 only if you want to do day trading equities with a margin account. You guys know what a margin account is. That means that the brokers, and I'm going to get into this because I call this loan sharking, is lending you money. It is not obligatory. You do not need a margin account. You literally tell them, no, I don't want a margin account, because then you don't have to worry if you are going to lose all your money and then have the power to borrow, because they know emotional mindset can give them a lot of money. All right. You do not need that. In crypto, you can get started with $100 Forex. I mean, honestly, guys, you can get started with a little bit of money. You do not need $25,000. The other thing is, I mentioned before, being a math whiz and a financial background. Oh my goodness, I don't understand numbers at all. There's no reason for you to understand numbers. There's no reason. If you are understanding technical analysis and patterns, there's zero reason for you to wonder about numbers. The only numbers I do is at the end of the day when I'm counting my profits or my losses. And that's it. And I can use a calculator for that. Okay, it's too stressful and chaotic. Yeah, for sure. If you're looking at something like this, do you really want to be here? No, because this is totally and completely unsustainable. Completely unsustainable, right? I mean, look at this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this really cool show. It's off. It's not playing anymore. It was called The King of Queens. It was a really funny sitcom. And the main character, he bought himself, I think it was like a 96-inch television. This is back in the day of direct TV. And he got direct TV. So him and all his buddies are sitting in the small room, it's his TV room, and they're flipping through the channels every 5 seconds, right? Because there's like 1,000 channels. And one of the friends is like, stop, you're going to trigger my epilepsy. This is literally what is happening here. Whenever I see the scenario, first of all, number one, I know that whoever is sitting in front of that, they're going to be burnt out within a year or two, because there's no possible way anybody could sustain this. Absolutely not. And secondly, you don't need this. I work on one chart, one. That's it, and 2 indicators. Okay, so softwares, indicators, algorithms. Do you really need any of this? No. This is like that shiny red syndrome or something like that, shiny light syndrome, right? You always think that you need to buy the next shiny thing, shiny object syndrome. That's what it is. It's a total lie. If you have a good software, a good platform, you do not need anything else, because that charting platform should come with all the universal indicators that you will need. So you do not need any of this. Okay. Just like Wally was saying, take the news in vain. Do not be stuck on it. I have had so many traders or wannabe traders that are up at 4 in the morning, obsessing over the news, doing all this research, only to, once the market opens up, nothing, that all the research they've done does not apply at all, because it doesn't work that way, right? And then they sit after wondering what they did wrong and back in the news. First of all, again, unsustainable. And secondly, the majority of the times, it's a lot of experts that have their own agendas and just happen to have the proper media platform to discuss it and move the markets, okay? And there's always that, that saying, buy on the rumor, sell on the news. Okay, so if you're going to do any market research, do it, with a grain of salt, but you really need to understand the analysis. The technical analysis is where it's all at. So this here, it's a really huge myth, and it's a real thing. Sorry, I had to get some water. It's called trigger happy. I am positive that probably more than 50% of the people sitting in this room today, including myself, have gone through this. Being trigger happy, it's a real thing. What does that mean? It means going in and out of hundreds of trades. Totally amateur, totally and completely amateur. Number one, your commissions will eat you up. Number two, it's ludicrous. There is not this many trades, right? So after I finally went through all these different, I guess, eras of my trading journey, I realized, even though I hate this analogy, but the best analogy we could do is to a big game hunter, right? When a hunter goes out, a big game hunter goes out, they don't go start shooting, at every little rodent or prairie dog. They sit and they patiently wait for the big game. Real professional traders maybe take 1, 2, at most 3 solid trades, because that they know that is a higher percentage. They're going to win a higher percentage. So being trigger happy, if you are doing it right now, you got to stop. The majority, what I do with a lot of my students is I have the 1 trade per day challenge. We do this for 1 month, right? Some people that actually really cannot get rid of this trigger happiness. And it's just focusing on that 1 trade. You're only allowed to take 1 trade per day. And it's amazing the amount of crap you start to realize that you thought were trades were not. And it really helps. Okay, I actually always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively, right? Being a conservative trader is a sustainable way to do it. Aggressive behavior does not work. And small profits daily bring the big profits yearly. It makes it a consistent, true profession, right? And that's what's important. And this is what I was talking about. The way you guys were saying FOMO, I actually coined this FOMAT, fear of missing a trade, or fear of missing out on entering at a certain price. This is huge, guys. This is huge, okay? Because what happens is that you always end up chasing trades. It becomes an emotional activity, right? So this is something you need to remember. There is always another trade. There is always another good entry. Always, always. So if you missed it and you start to see yourself wanting to chase it, remember that's emotion. That does not work. You have to get back to the logistical mindset, and is it a valid decision? Okay, so let's talk about what to trade. Like I mentioned earlier, yeah, you could do watch lists, but what are your watch lists in? All right, so the majority of times whenever you hear people say, oh, I'm a day trader, they usually think it's stocks or something, or Forex, right? The reality is there are over 5 markets. Okay, so Forex, we all know what Forex is, right? It's foreign exchange when you're trading different currencies or pairs of currencies. And what's really important, like going back to the day trader mentality, pick your one, okay? Maybe at the most do 2 pairs. But if you're going to be looking at too many different pairs, guess what's going to happen? You are not going to have a proper strategy, okay? Because pairing 2 different countries will not have the same for every single pair, right? They have different strategies. So you really need to niche it down. Equities. So when somebody tells me, oh, I trade stocks, I'm like, which stocks, right? I mean, there's 5,000, if not more, stocks on the US market alone. You're telling me you're trading all of them? That's ludicrous. I immediately know that you're an amateur, right? So when somebody that's really a pro, and I talk to them about what they're trading, there would be really specific. Yeah, okay, so I trade a sector. I really like pharmaceuticals, or I really like tech. I really like entertainment. They focus on a sector, which makes sense, right? Because that sector pretty much goes together. But pharmaceuticals and entertainment, really not so much, right? Or you could just look at big caps, or you could look at small caps or penny stocks, right? Now you can narrow it down to actual things that you could focus on. And if you're going to start a watch list, you have this already narrowed down so you could really start to focus and understand what is going on. And actually, I know quite a few really successful traders that just stick to Amazon or Tesla or Facebook or Microsoft, right? They just focus on the one. And those could give you really amazing gains because they're high volatility markets, right? Futures, we all hear about futures, right? What is futures? Futures is commodities. So if you're telling me, oh, I trade futures, I'm like, well, what do you trade? Because you could trade wheat, soy and sugar, and you could also trade the indexes. Indexes and wheat or crude, they don't work the same. So you cannot possibly do them all at the same time. I personally only work with the S&P, which is the ES minis, right? It is a beautiful, volatile, moving market. But I also know that, I can't be sitting and watching crude and ES at the same time. I need to focus on one because they do not work together. They are not going to be working same together. And my mind cannot handle two completely different movements and strategies at the same time. Options. Options is a really big market, and I know a lot of people are in it. So if you're going to be in options, stick to options. Okay, stick to it. Don't start to wane and go into other things while your options charts are open. You're not going to do well. And that's another reason why so many people fail. And then we have crypto, right? Crypto. Huge right now. Huge. I'm not even going to go into the whole NFT and the megaverse situation going on, right? That's a whole new explosion. I don't understand it. So let's talk about crypto. And somebody's like, oh, I'm into crypto. I'm like, okay, well, what are you into crypto? There's 6,000 projects and altcoins. Which ones are you in, right? So that's also something really important. If you can't say crypto, if you're going to say Bitcoin, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It's like you can't say currencies when you're only focusing on the US dollar because there's 196 countries or 200 countries. Right? Crypto is the same. There are many, many different projects, altcoins. So if you're going to focus on that, really focus on specifics. Okay. So that is really, really important. If you guys are going to get anything out of my presentation today is finding that one thing that you really want to master and then really go for it. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about brokers and margin accounts because this is a huge misconception and a huge myth out there. I get so many people that contact me and they're like, okay, I'm ready to trade. I got my broker account. I'm like, well, what are you trading? Oh, I'm not sure yet. So what's your broker? If you're going to be trading futures, do you really want to be with with Thinkorswim? They're an equities platform. If you're going to be doing crypto, do you really want to be on a futures platform? So, or with a broker that's futures, it's ridiculous, right? So you need to first back it up and understand what it is that you want to be focusing on. What do you want to trade? What do you want to put your money in, right? I'm not going to invest in Apple on my Kraken exchange. I don't even think they offer it, right? But there are some places that are, realizing that people are, ignorant and are, ready to cash in on their ignorance. So we want to be a step above that. We want to know, hey, wait, I want to focus on crypto. So then you got to focus on, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken. No, I want to do futures. Okay, well, then you got to find a futures platform, a future specialist broker, right? So that's really important. And as mentioned earlier, margin accounts, stay away from them, guys, because the brokers are going to immediately offer them to you, right? You do need a certain amount of money there. Acta Zipto, it is a benefit. It is not. It is loan sharking. It is literally the definition. I will lend you money when you are losing everything. Okay. And once you lose everything, by the way, I'm going to request that you pay me back and with interest. And if you don't have it, I'm going after your house. So stay away from the margin accounts. Just say no automatically. You do not need it. Okay. And actually, my trading account, I never have more than the amount of contracts I'm planning on trading for that day. Right. So if I'm planning on trading maybe 2 or 3 contracts, I have a certain amount. And once I'm done for the day, I transfer my earnings so that I'm back, because I never want to be in position that I will lose way more than I want to. And you can protect yourself like that. Now, understanding commissions and live feed. It is so important that you understand, first of all, like I said earlier, do you really want to be with a platform, a brokerage that has nothing to do with what you really want to specialize in? For instance, when I first began, I have an Ameritrade and the Thinkorswim account, right? So I was doing futures. They were giving me crazy, crazy commissions. When I finally, got pro, I went to a futures broker. They gave me half the price of the commissions because that's what their specialty is versus Thinkorswim. Right? I have some friends that want to get into crypto, and because they're already with some of these brokers that are for equities or whatever, or options, and they have a couple of crypto coins on there, they're buying it. I'm like, don't, your commissions, your fees are going to be extravagant because you need to be on an exchange that focuses on crypto, right? Not because it's convenient, because they're winning on your losses. So remember that, right? So commissions is really important to understand. What is feed and quotes? If you're going to be day trading, you need to be in real time, not delayed, right? You need to be in real time. And a lot of times, especially for like futures market, you need to pay for the fee to be up as accurate as possible. Some accounts right now, they give it to you for free, but then they take it more out on your commissions. So you really have to understand what you're paying for. Okay, that's really important to understand. And you have to have a platform. You cannot be without a platform if you are day trading. It's literally saying I am a Formula One driver, but driving a minivan. It's ridiculous, right? You're not like, they wouldn't probably even let me on the court. I mean, on the tracks, right? So unfortunately, with the financial markets, there's zero barrier to entry. Anybody can get in as long as you have a little bit of money. And people think, well, since I could get in, I could do it. No, you can't. You can't do it successfully, that's for sure, right? So you need a platform. And the really good platforms, they usually come with feed, they come with indicators. So you need to find a really good one. All right, now trading lingo. This to me is unbelievable. The amount of people that literally do not understand the lingo. Everything we do in life, everything. It doesn't matter what career, what area of your life you're doing, everything has its own lingo, right? Interestingly enough, right now, my son is learning how to drive a car. And when he first sat in the car, I've been driving for over 30 years, so I don't even realize that there's a lingo. I'm like, okay, let's fasten your seatbelt, put your foot on the clutch, put it into first gear, and then start to release the clutch. And he was like, what gear? What does that even mean? He had no idea. Why? Because it's a language, right? Because just because you're a passenger doesn't mean that you understand how to drive the car, right? You have to learn that language. And it's the same thing for anything, right? If you're going to be in the kitchen with cooks, you're going to hear stuff that you probably don't hear everywhere else, right? If you're going to be an electrician, you hear words I probably won't understand what you're saying. It's normal. Same thing when it comes to the financial markets. You need to understand the lingo to be a success, right? And we're not talking like hardcore algorithms and all this, stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, the basics, absolute basics, right? For instance, intraday trading. This is a basic thing. We get that it's, you're in and out of all your positions in the same day. So then if you're an intraday day trader, why are you looking at a week and a month and a year chart? How is that going to help you at all? So you also have to understand exactly what you're doing, and that works in many ways. Bull market, basically market going up, right? We all understand that market going up, market trending up. Bear market, market going down, market trending down. You'll be surprised, many people don't even know that there's such a thing as a bear market. Okay, then sideways trend. A lot of people don't realize that there are 3 very specific trends, and a sideways trend is huge because that's where the majority of our money can be lost. Okay, so you have to understand that. Profit target. This is something that is so important if you are a pro. I do not care if the market is going to go 1,000 points higher or lower, wherever I'm looking at, if I'm going for a buy or a short, I don't care because my profit target is there. I am a pro. I could definitely start to split target, but I still need to get my first target out because I know that I am telling the market, this is where I want to be out. This is where I know that I'm going to get to. I'm not going to be like, oh, wait, it's going to continue. Take it all off the table and greed is going to win over and I'm going to lose everything. You need to have a profit target in place the same exact way. You need to have a risk management in place. What does that mean? It means you have your risk in place. It is solid. It is there. You have to totally understand that the risk is there. And you're telling the market, this is where I want to be stopped out. I don't care if it's going to bounce off of here and continue on, but I know this is all I want to give it. You have to be telling the market what you want, not letting the market rule you. Okay, like I said before, charts. Whenever I talk about charts, platforms, this is what I mean. It is literally the holy grail for traders. If you want to be a professional day trader, you cannot be, just winging it on, what is it, Robinhood or something, like that. Those are fun. Those are for hobbyists, but they're not real, right? Indicators. We all need to have indicators. And like mentioned before, your charting platform has universal indicators that you can use, and they are part of what you are buying. Okay, trending markets. Like I mentioned earlier, we have the uptrend, downtrend, and the sideways trend. Okay, now Buying. What is buying? You'll hear people say, oh, I'm buying, I'm going long. What does that mean? It literally means that you are entering the market at a lower price point and exiting it at a higher price point, and you're taking the money in between. Okay, entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point, and taking that money in between. That's the profit. Then you hear people selling or going short, shorting the market. What does that mean? It means that you are entering the market at a higher price point, exiting the market at a lower price point, and you're taking the profit in between. Don't overanalyze it. Don't get into your head, or don't have empathy for the people that are losing. Who cares? They don't care about you. You're here as a technical analysis day trader, and the market is telling you it's going to go further down. You want to make sure that you're in on it. Okay. Big difference between amateur and a pro is a market entry versus a limit order. What is a market entry? It's telling the market, I really don't know where I want to go, but I'm going here because it looks good. Limit order is, this is where I want the market. This is a price that I want to enter. And I'm telling you, and if it never gets to here, it's no big deal. I'll wait until I see my next valid opportunity where I'm going to tell you again. You cannot do a market entry for many reasons. One, just shows the market you really have no idea where you're entering. Two, it's slippage, right? If you're day trading. Now, if you're market entry for investing, that's a whole other story, right? Because you're in it for a really long haul. But if you're day trading and your market entry, there's a slippage. What does that mean? It means you automatically lose between 20 to 25% of whatever you want to make. Okay, so if you want to enter and you want to make $100, you can end up losing $25 from slippage because you're entering the wrong way. Okay, so this is something you have to understand. So you need to learn exactly where you want to position yourself. You tell the market where you want to enter, not the market just because it looks good, go there. Same thing with a stop limit, right? You cannot, again, market entry on a stop, you're seeing the market go opposite direction, you're not prepared, you want to exit it out, that's a market entry, market exit. Again, slippage, you're going to lose a lot more money. So you tell the market exactly where your risk management is. You put in that stop limit. All right, so everything is about technical analysis, right? Like that's what I keep on saying. It's all about the technical analysis. What is technical analysis? It's understanding what the charts are saying to you. And here are the basics. You guys need to know these total basics to understand. Otherwise, I really don't recommend getting in the market. It's literally getting into the car and not knowing where your accelerator is, where your brake is, where your directionals are, where your gear shifts are. It's that important. So what are areas? Areas are huge. I actually call them the safety gear of the markets. What are they? Resistance and support areas. So what is a resistance area? It's the ceiling of the market. It's where the market is hitting that area over and over and over again. And it's showing us that it is respecting a certain area. Do you really want to be putting in a trade where there's been a significant resistance area? Chances are you're going to get stopped out, right? Because it can continue. You want to wait until it breaks out or it gives you a massive confirmation of a change in direction. Support area, mirror image, it's literally the floor of the market. The exact same thing. The market is just hitting that area over and over again. It's telling us that we got to respect that area because the market is respecting that area. Now, reversal patterns. I live for reversal patterns. What are reversal patterns? It is a double top, a triple top, double bottom, triple bottom, head and shoulders. This is the market that is giving you a really strong indication that the market is slowing down or that it is pausing, and maybe there is a potential that it's going to reverse. But you never want to be in a market that is slowing down and stopping, right? And that's exactly what reversal patterns are. Divergences. What is divergence? I use two indicators. I only use the EMAs and the MACDs. So as you can see here, my price action is going up, yet my MACDs, the red balls, are going down. What is that showing me? It's showing me that the market is losing its energy. It's losing its strength. I never want to be in the market that is losing strength, right? Because why? Because it takes away from my chances of winning, of that probability that is going to continue in my direction, and that's all what it is. It's all about probabilities, right? So let's put this all together. Remember, everything that I've been speaking to you guys about, you could get here of makingofadaytrader.com. Makingofadaytrader.com. All right, go here and you guys will be able to totally see what I mean. Okay, it's free worksheet, makingofadaytrader.com. All right, so let's put this all together. Breaking out of areas. So we all know that breakout is one of the most powerful trades out there, right? However, if you don't know how and what you're seeing, how are you going to be able to spot it, right? So breakout, what are they? So it is when the market is going in one direction and you get an area, resistance or support, and then it breaks through that area. Boom, it breaks through that area, right? Here's another example. You're heading up, you have this massive sideways market, massive resistance area, and then boom, it continues on. That is that breakout. Okay, so what is the breakout? It is when you have a really strong area and then it finally breaks through that area. So this is how I use my indicators. It continues up and then it has to retrace, showing me that there's no divergence, massive strength with the MACDs. Okay, heading up, boom. All right, so remember, everything we've done today, makingofadaytrader.com. So everything I go over there is on, everything today is on that presentation. Excuse me, I had to get some water. All right, so now everything, you guys have everything you need to take action, right? Everything, right? We have the YouTube channel videos, we have the summits, we have the books, but the reality is, how do you know if you're doing it right? How do you know if you are doing it right? What kind of feedback are you getting other than that you're losing, right? How do you know you're doing it right? So all of this is great, but the real question though, they're probably asking is, how do I really get started? And this isn't only for beginners, it's for seasoned traders, excuse me, who have been trading for ages, but are still inconsistent, right? And I get asked, what can I do to turn this around and be profitable consistently? I get this asked all the time. And the majority of the time is because we're lacking the understanding of basics. Pretty much what I just went through is lacking those basics and really implementing that, because once you do that, it changes everything. Like I mentioned earlier about a car, right? When we first sat down in the car, it's the basics. The steering wheel, we know where the horn is, we know where the gear shift is, we know where the clutch is, where the brake is, where the accelerator is. We understand all this, right? But what if you're being told, all right, buckle up because it's going to save your life, and you've never been in a car and you have no idea what the seatbelt is, and buckle up, what are you talking about? How can you protect yourself if you don't even know what you're looking for, right? And a lot of people don't realize that, because at this point, it's just so automatic for us, but we learned this at one point, and it's the same thing with day trading. How can we protect ourselves if we don't know what our safety gears are, what that basics are, right? Like my own sad truth is I spent over $20,000 on my own trainings, and yet I was still losing tons of money and struggling for years because I never went through the basics. Whenever I ask anything, like I've been hearing people say, okay, there's reversal and there's divergence. And I'm like, can you please explain what that means? And I was either dismissed or treated as if I had to be born with that information. And we're not born with that information, but that information is literally going to change and revolutionize your trading. And when I came back and finally realized that that's what I needed to learn, it totally changed everything. And before that, I was losing money, and I literally lost almost $4,000 in 5 minutes. And then what happened was I quit. I was just so defeated, because losing is not part of the game, right? Like the goal is so we make money, so we are consistent and profitable from this. But the reality is that I was bit by the trading bug. And I guarantee that you guys who are sitting here right now, we are all bit by that same trading bug, and it never stops itching, right? It never stops itching. And why is that? Why is it that it never stops itching? Because deep down inside, we know that we can do this. We can do this. And what I decided when I came back is that I know that I can do this. Okay, I decided to get back to the basics. I decided to get back to the basics, and that changed it all. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Coach John Wooden. So he was a legendary coach for basketball, and then he became legendary in, just training coaches overall. But his whole philosophy was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. And a student actually told me this. I never even heard of this guy. A couple of years back, they're like, you have very similar philosophy to how you teach. It's like John Wooden. I'm like, who's John Wooden? And then I dug into who John Wooden was. This man has revolutionized basketball. He won 10 NCAAs in a row. He won 88 national championships in a row. He literally trained superstars. I mean, these guys were incredible, right? Yet, every time they came back for their season, a new season, he would start at the basics, right? He would teach them how to tie their shoelace, how to roll up their socks, how to dribble the ball. Why? Because even though they knew that they knew how to play well, it doesn't matter if your shoe is untied or if your sock is incorrectly placed on your foot, you're going to get a blister. You could sprain your ankle and be out for the season and sitting out on the bench because you did not take care of the basics. And that's what it's about. It doesn't matter if you know about all these algorithms and shiny softwares, but if you don't know how to read the basics and understand what's right in front of you, it won't matter, right? So for you guys, and only for people that are sitting right here, right now, participants only, I have a really special offer for you guys. And that is how I created the bootcamp for day trading. What is the bootcamp for day trading? First of all, you could do it on any apparatus, iPhones, Androids, desktops, laptops, tablets, it doesn't matter. This is the next step. Either it's your very first step or it's your next step. This is the step. Here's what you get in the course. Prequel. Okay, so understanding, simplifying the whole day trading package, and also a tutorial to help you guys set up your platforms, because the reality is, it doesn't matter if you are starting and if you're trading, but if you don't even understand how to set up your platform and the basic idea, understanding what is happening with your day trading, you're not going to be able to do it. I have so many students that they have platforms. They have no idea how to do it before they come to me, and they were trying to get in the live market, but they don't even know how to put in a stop or how to get out, and they were losing money. And so we go over this 30 minutes, boom, you're up and running and totally have complete control of your platform, which is your driving force. And then we're going to also go through the market anatomy, dissecting the markets, understanding those magic telltale signs, the reversal patterns, divergences. This is valued at $300 all alone. You're going to really understand how to spot these and really know what they're about. Understanding how the divergences even work, understanding your areas. This is crucial, guys. This is crucial. This understanding divergences will totally help you in seeing those areas, all of that. And mastering the breakout, right? How are you going to be able to understand when the breakout happens if you don't even know where spot it is, right? So, and also the big thing is to avoid those fake out breakouts. I'm sure a lot of us have been in those fake out breakouts when it finally broke out and it was, a fake out. You can also avoid that. You can understand where the breakout is actually really happening, and that we go through all of that in total detail. You have unlimited access to this curriculum for life, which is priceless. All of this is valued at $1,600. Okay, so bootcamp for day trading, you get the whole trader's workspace, dissection of the trends, movements, respecting the areas, understanding the breakouts, unlimited lifetime access to the curriculum. Here's the thing, guys. I want to share something really important with you. And this is going back to John Wooden and coach, right? Why is it that we know that sports, that athletes, CEOs, all these successful people working with coaches and mentors, and it's okay, yet we overlook that accountability, that importance. So I want to do right now for you guys, I am adding a bonus 1 month, 30 days, 1 month, unlimited feedback, working with me, one-on-one mentorship. So you never have to say, am I doing this right? You will have complete accountability with me, one-on-one coaching, the works, okay? And on top of that, I will be giving you 1 month free membership in my live trade chat room on top of the mentorship in my live trade chat room. And it's me. I do not work with any moderators. So everything we're going to be learning in the course, you will then be seeing me implemented in the live market as we take trades and really focus on it. You get 30-day free membership on top of that. All of this is valued at $2,600. But for you guys, one time price, $97. One time. This is not an ongoing, this is not a membership. One time you get all of this with me right here. You can go to bootcamp at foredaytrading.com. Bootcamp foredaytrading.com. Bootcamp foredaytrading.com. Okay, guys, you can get all of this here, bootcamp foredaytrading.com. You guys can go here right now, $97. You know what? We all know that that is less than what you guys are putting in for one trade or one position, right? $97, and you get everything. You get to work with me for 1 month, being in the live trade chat room where you're seeing all this. That alone, you will come out with 10 times winning after just those lessons alone. And here, don't take my word for it. I have student testimonials. I work with students from all over the world because the coolest part about day trading is that you could do it from anywhere in the world. So here's what some of my students have said. Best money ever spent finishing this boot camp right now. It is absolutely invaluable. The feedback I got, and it all clicks. You are the only mentor that I know that checks the work. That's amazing. I cannot wait to get into it even more. I am enjoying your boot camps. I am learning every single day. So join me today, guys. But here's one thing. Okay, because of the mentorship, I'm only able to take on 25 students, okay, because of my mentorship. So I only have space for 25 students, and honestly, $97, guys. Go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Ed, just go and put in bootcampfordaytrading.com, okay, and you'll get there right here, and you can actually start with $59. You don't even need to get started with the whole $97, and you have access to everything right away. Okay, bootcampfordaytrading.com. So I want you guys to go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any questions at all. And remember, bootcampfordaytrading.com. I want to show you my software really quickly. Let me know if you guys are able to see this. Let me know if you guys, are you able to see my chart?
I'm still seeing the presentation.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. So JP, no, it's $97 for life, but you get 30 days of one-on-one mentorship with me. Okay, but $97 is for life. Let me share with you my charts. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Are you guys seeing my chart now?
Yeah, I'm seeing the chart.
Okay, awesome. So this is what I personally use, NinjaTrader, simply because this is what I day trade from. My Thinkorswim account is where I have my investments from. So it's different, right? Because I have different strategies for my investing versus my day trading. But here is a great example of an area that we have this beautiful support, resistance area. We have the support area as well. It's an obvious channel. And then boom, we have this massive, massive breakout. And look at the amount of spacing here, right? So this is how I use my indicators. Like I said, I only use 2 indicators. This is all I use is my EMA lines, which is the exponential moving average, and my MACDs. There's massive movement here, massive breakout right here. Boom, I know exactly where to enter. I know exactly where to tell the market what needs to be done. Okay. And at the moment, it looks like the market is going back up a teeny bit, but again, it's for the day. So I don't really look at my overall futures for a year because that's not what I'm trading here, right? What am I trading is the day. So it is going back up to this particular position here. It was a massive, massive slaughter. And look how much volatility is on today. It is an incredible time, first of all, to day trade. And secondly, if you guys have stocks or positions that you're really looking into entering, today could be a really good day. Be careful of the panic sellout, right? You want to be able to really enjoy the market. And let me go back into, okay, are you able to see my presentation once again? Are you seeing the presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so guys, remember, just go here. Wait, where am I? Here we go. There we go. All right, so bootcamp for daytrading.com. You guys get everything that we went over in the course, but on top of that, you'll get 33 days of one-on-one. Just that alone is priceless. Which mentor is going to give you unlimited feedback, right? Personalized videos, conversations, that all goes with it. And being in my live trade chat room, where you guys get to see everything implemented and taking trades at the same time in the live market. Honestly, $97, you know that you can't, it's a no-brainer, simply because my goal is for you guys to learn to trade. That's really all that I'm here for. I enjoy trading. It is something that I do. It can get really lonely. And I know that what I've been doing has really, really helped many other people. I do it in a simplified way. And again, 97 bucks is less than a trade. So let's do it. All right, guys, I'm hoping to see you all in bootcamp for daytrading.com. And thank you so very much for having me on your presentation. Again, it's always so much fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and stay warm. I know the majority of you guys are coming from the north. Thank you.